WJBF Live, Viper 6. Skies are mostly clear and dry over the two-state. Forecast for tomorrow morning as you start your day. Watch out for some patchy fog. Winds will be light out of the southwest. Temperature at 51 degrees at 7 a.m. More 70s coming our way for highs. Forecast next.
Tonight at 11, a look at the second deadly shooting in our area, the third in Richmond County this week. Details on the victim and the suspects.
Also ahead, we're digging deeper into some sort of oil spill in the Augusta Canal and what they're doing to make sure the water supply stays safe.
And the South Carolina Clemson Tigers are bringing home more than just a win. A look at the spike in economics in South Carolina. Your news at 11 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery.
I'm Brad Means. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight as coverage you can count on begins with developing information for you on a Richmond County homicide. Take a look now, live from the scene of that crime where the Richmond County Coroner's Office confirms 28-year-old James Bartell Smiley was shot at least once and died there on the 1000 block of Carey Street. Carey Street, if you don't know, is not too far from Laney Walker Boulevard in Augusta. News Channel 6's Kimberly Scott with more on what was a deadly afternoon.
28-year-old James Smiley lost his life after being shot near Carey Street. The call came in about 2:30 Thursday afternoon, soon after the streets were filled with officers trying to figure out what happened.
They're going to be going door to door asking for information, seeing if anybody heard anything, and if so, what, and what they saw, the whole 9 yards.
Commissioner Bill Fenoy came too. He represents this district and says there is only so much deputies and the city can do.
I don't recognize the vehicle, so I doubt if the person that did the shooting or the person that was shot is from this area, lived in this area.
And even as day turned to night, the investigation continued. It's still a pretty active crime scene here on Carey Street, hours after one man lost his life. This crime scene spans 3 blocks. Take a look at the police cars in the distance. That's where investigators say the whole incident began. As we move closer, just beyond the crime scene tape where this bush stands, that's where investigators found a car. Inside that car, the body of 28-year-old James Smiley. Anthony Walker lives in this neighborhood.
I'm very saddened about what's going on right here in my own very neighborhood. Within the last 2 years, this is maybe like the 4th murder that we have had right here on this block.
He says family and friends inundated him with calls just to make sure he was okay. As the car the victim was in is towed away, there are still questions. However, Richmond County investigators are working to find those answers. Kimberly Scott, WJBF, News Channel 6.
And Smiley's body is going to be sent to the GBI crime lab as the investigation continues.
More developing news in Richmond County tonight, where deputies are still investigating 2 shootings. The first happened on Wheeler Road in the Sand Hills neighborhood. Investigators say one victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The second happened at the Mom and Pops on Broad Street. One victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Both people were shot in the legs as they were walking along the street. Investigators have not released the victims' names or any suspects.
We have a mild night on our hands right now after high temperatures today pushed into the middle and upper 70s, a good 20 degrees above average for the middle of January. Right now 53 in Thompson, middle and upper 50s in Evans and Grovetown, Hepzibah 54. Look at the 60 in Martinez right now, 57 downtown Augusta, 59 degrees in Aiken. Jiffy Lube Skyview Network, a beautiful evening. Did you see that nice big full moon hovering over Georgia, Carolina? Right now looking downtown over the medical district and obviously University Hospital. No rain, skies are dry. Forecast coming up for tomorrow morning. Kick off your day with some patchy fog, 51 at 7, 70 at noon, and there's that high of 77 approaching record-breaking levels. Have your complete forecast coming up next, Brad and Jenny.
George, thanks. The city of Augusta now investigating how a large amount of oil apparently ended up in the Augusta Canal. They got a call about it last night. Some sort of oil sheen was seen on the water. Crews slowed down the flow of the canal so they could figure out where it was coming from. And they're currently looking at stormwater drains along the waterway. The Savannah Riverkeeper says this has happened several times in the last few years.
My personal opinion is that we're looking for either a auto shop or we're looking for a food place that cooks with oil that maybe doesn't want to pay for that and is pouring it into the storm drain.
Augusta Utilities is using groundwater as its water source for the time being. And if you know anybody who is illegally dumping oil into stormwater drains, just call the engineering department.
Augusta's second craft brewery is almost ready to open. Savannah River Brewing Company is located on 5th Street in downtown Augusta. The company will be the first Augusta brewery to sell bottles in stores. Founder Steve Ellison says it was a challenge to restore an old warehouse into a clean and safe brewery. They're also working on a tap room and outdoor beer garden that will offer special batches of beer for guests.
We can't sell beer from our brewery. We sell tours, and so you come in with a tour, we can give you free samples of the beer. It would be great to be able to serve food here and also serve beer here as a brew pub sort of thing on that side.
Ellison says the brewery can't sell beer because of state laws. He's hoping that will change in the next couple of years.
Local business owners in Aiken say they are already feeling the effects of the new presidential administration, and it isn't even in office yet. Lionel Smith Limited there wrapped up 2016, they say, with record sales. Haven't seen that kind of business in 40 years since they opened. The store manager says he noticed a change in buying habits right after the election.
People were just glad it was over. So, November, it seemed like they held on to their purse strings a little bit, and then they realized Christmas was there, and once they got past the election, they were able to just kind of shop for Christmas.
The business owner says the city's effort to revitalize Aiken, combined with Trump's win and the feelings he says that many have about that administration, are looking like a win so far for Main Street.
More good news for the Palmetto State tonight. The Clemson National Championship will bring in millions of dollars for South Carolina. T-shirt companies and other manufacturers have been busy making souvenirs. USC professor Tom Regan says there will be a big boost in merchandise sales right away, but it will continue since they'll be champions all year.
The impact of just on the merchandising would probably be, I'm guessing, $5 to $8 million right now. But what you're going to see is what are the revenue streams that Clemson can leverage, being a national champion with their logo, with Nike and their deal.
Merchandise sales will mean more sales tax money for the state, and Regan thinks Clemson ticket prices will go up also. There should also be a boost for hotels and restaurants around Clemson for the Victory Parade on Saturday.
Look ahead to your morning commute now, where if you use Washington Road between Halele Farm Road and Gibbs Road, there's going to be temporary lane closures and lane shifts starting at 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 p.m. So be careful in that area and avoid that Washington/Halele Farm area if you can. Part of Silver Bluff Road also going to be closed to all traffic starting tomorrow. That is between Center South Boulevard and Town Creek Road. It starts tomorrow at 7 in the evening and lasts until 7 Saturday morning as crews relocate a water main.
The Charlie Norwood VA Medical Center is looking for Vietnam vets to honor. The center will soon host a ceremony honoring 50 servicemen and their families. They must have served between November 1955 to May of 1975. Those who are eligible to participate should provide a copy of their DD-214S by Friday. The event is happening next Monday.